So the next point in our journey is, of course, again, the inducement. As we already covered it slightly, now we need to identify an internal play. And as you can see here, the retailers in this stage, I'm not sure if she's raging, but I think she is, right? Or like, obviously they're very sad because they're getting stopped out. So for one, it's being like, yeah, we're going. And for the others being like, oh shit, I got stopped out, right? So it's always the same thing. For the ones, it's being an FOMO approach of that the market will go up forever. And for others, it will be actually a stop out, right? So the inducement is always have two things. Again, for us, it's more like this, because we should understand at this point what the inducement does and what's the true intentions of the inducement is. And obviously, we're just sitting there and like, fascinating, right? It doesn't really surprise me that much anymore. In short, though, again, inducement towards lit is a way for us to identify the intentions in the market and alert us that we may have a reaction in the market in our favor. Again, if you see something like on a bigger picture play like this, the easiest play of them all, and have an internal build up like here, we now expect, again, the inducement to grab this internal liquidity to do what? Complete the bigger picture and move further like this. Okay, so it's always first an alert that we obviously see and take as an advantage to know, okay, now things get interesting. So all we need to do is wait for the inducement to happen and look for mitigation after. Right? That's the only thing you need to do. If you're really good at that, you will have a really fun time. Like the lion, we wait for our prey to be as most vulnerable and attack it when it's most beneficial for us. Again, if you jump in the whole herd of like 50 buffaloes, they will probably rip us apart. Because again, like one lion cannot take out 50 buffaloes. Right? So guess what? We need to wait for a proper opportunity, wait until the limping buffalo is slipping, and then we jump on him, right? So again, as we showed you the build-ups earlier, now the inducement is just the final, again, inducement of the wrong side. Right? Again, for the trend build-up, it's in the long side, of course, because again, they want to get everyone on the wrong side of the market, doing it all in the process, and that this always leads to these vector candles, because that's usually these huge candles that led to the whole euphoria and FOMO, and whatever. Oh my God, look at that momentum, right? Same with sideways action. If they go sideways, or of course, if they want to go higher, guess what? They don't go right away like this. No, they usually go lower, do slow, and then go higher, right? And same thing for the up channeling. They, of course, they induce with speed, the wrong side one more time, and then push price higher. So does it look? Of course, exactly like that. Look at it. Building up the channel, making the reaction with speed. Guess what the time is? You already see the box. So is it surprising anymore what they're doing in here? Same thing for channeling. Look at the speed, typical vector candle. Look at the speed of it. Insane. Right? So guess what happened next? And same thing for the channel. Guess what that is? Vector candle, huge candle to make the final execution push the wrong side. Inducement candle to push price higher later. So, question again. Where are our inducements for the day? Where's all our inducements? Doesn't matter if it's a medium, minor one, whatever. Where's the inducements we have? Okay, so that was a tricky one because the true answer is all of them. Again, this is the channel that leads to what? The inducement of Asia breakout. And of course, there's no vector candle, but still the whole thing by itself is of course an inducement. Again, it induced the whole channel out of Asia. Then of course we have the bigger picture build up. This of course is the major inducement for the day. And guess what? There's the channel. And that's this little inducement before, of course, they can push price completely higher. Yeah, that was a tricky one. But I hope everyone sees that now. Channel, building, inducing finally. I mean, that's hard to see, I see, but you have to see the bigger picture. Breakout Asia of low is already the inducement. Right? It's a minor one, but in overall, it's an inducement. Then, of course, you have the bigger picture buildup. That's obviously easy to spot. And then the major inducement for the day that literally grabbed all the liquidity from people who are getting buy. Because again, think about it. If you bought in here, 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 where's your stop? Of course, it needs to go lower than here. The moment this thing grabs it, every buyer is out. Then they do it low key here, staying, and look how they're doing it. Look at how sneaky they are and how they're doing it. So they're building up here, but then they try to fake even one more time to give even sellers opportunities to even get in now because they're seeing the short channel. They're seeing now there's huge resistance. They're faking the reaction. But guess what? For the buy people, they're building the channel and inducing them wrong side again, stopping a few of them out already. And then, as you can see how well they did it, they grabbed all the liquidity here and finally here. And then they easily can smash to the upside as they want to do it. So they induce both sides. In this case, they only induced low here. First inducement, building up. Major inducement, also low. Building up the channel, inducing a low one more time. They induced 3 times low. And that's why you see this huge reaction because there was no buyers in the market at this point. That's why they easily can smash the market upside. Right? And that's why we say don't pick the end of the inducement because again, you think, oh yeah, look at the speed. I take the short here. No. I take the short here. No. I take the short here. No. Again, that's why we said react. Again, if it makes bigger structures here, imbalances here, yeah, then you can take a short. Right? But again, it's all a system. Obviously, we give you the system. So now we see how we can combine things even more and making it more obvious. Because guess what? Remember this as we had it before where we identified all the buildups. We had like the minor buildups. We have like the hidden buildups, like the bigger ones in black. And all these minor buildups during the whole process. So, easy question now. Where are our inducements? There's only one tricky one. The rest should be very obvious. There's one tricky one. The rest should have right. Or maybe there's 2 tricky ones. So I give you two buffers. The rest you should have. Okay, so let's bring some lights into the tunnel. I saw I did also a mistake myself. I don't know why, but definitely F is not an inducement. So it was, of course, first of all, the B one, right? Then we had this one with the C. Then, of course, this one was the F one, right? Sorry, the E one. Sorry, this one was the E one. Then this one was the G one, right? This one was the H one. This one was the I one. K is not an inducement. I saw that someone had that. That's obviously a build-up. K, this was the L. I'm not sure why I forgot to put the things in here. And of course, this also, we talked about it earlier. The N is an inducement and also this one in here because that leads to the mitigation. Induced obviously high, mitigated. That's the perfect side in here. Build-up, inducement into the mitigation to push price lower. And that was the P. Yeah, if you got most right, that's good. For the obviously we're starting out, so we get you there. But if you got majority of them right, that's obviously good. Okay, so if you put it into clear pictures, we can look at it like this. So the difference between an inducement and a structure point. Alex will of course dig into that in his blog today as well, so it should be clear as well. I just give you an easy example, which Alex also touched upon at the beginning when he said like Asia range can have a very important role about that, and also timing. So use these tools already. You can easily include them to not be confused immediately. Again, if, for example, if you see, why is this not a break of structure or inducement? If you see this is Asia range in here, So, of course, why would this be an insignificant inducement here? But out of a sudden, this is Asia low now being formed, right? And then, of course, this is not a lower low anymore. As you see the cycle forming, minor inducement makes a new lower low just to tricks everyone in the short trend in here. But now you use timing, as you saw the cycle all over again, all the time. London traps the final move. And now you're having a final or valid break of structure in here after the intraday cycle, making intraday break of structure, mitigating. And of course, then you can trade in this direction afterwards because the intraday cycle in this case is done, right? So always use timing for your example, for your advantage. But for now, just know that London and Asia will definitely help you. Of course, you'll have way more confluences later on, but for the basics, just understand those two and how you can utilize that for your advantage.